What is left of Tropical Storm Bill ready to slam parts of the Bluegrass State. I'm talking about the possibility of flooding just ahead.
People across the Bluegrass are cleaning up from last night's storms. We'll take a tour of the damage coming up. And the man accused of killing 9 people in a Charleston church answers to murder charges for the first time as family members of the victims get a chance to talk to him.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Good afternoon. I'm Jennifer Palumbo. We've had a lot of rain the past few days, and a lot more is on the way. You're looking live at Triangle Park in downtown Lexington, where it's 79 degrees right now, but very muggy. We're under a flood watch, and today is a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is tracking the threat on the First Alert Defender. Chris?
Yeah, we are watching what is left over of once Tropical Storm Bill that is now across southeastern Missouri, and it's ready to work its way right across western Kentucky and across the rest of the Bluegrass State. Still showing up with a very great presentation. Everything spiraling around that, and that center of circulation is going to work its way right toward the Lexington Metro, believe it or not, come first thing tomorrow morning. And out ahead of that, we're seeing rounds of showers and some thunderstorms, kind of spiraling bands, if you will, feeder bands almost with a tropical system. It's still a depression into southeastern Missouri over land. Yes, it is still holding its own. Here's live First Alert Defender. Out ahead of that, we have a lot of juice. We have those showers and thunderstorms that are cranking up, and Defender is tracking a ton of rain already. Got to keep an eye on the flash flood threat here from Bath County through southern sections of Montgomery County, Menifee County there around Frenchburg, and especially on top of Stanton, on top of Beattyville, Campton, Jackson. Look at the light show that is currently underway. How about this along the Mountain Parkway, Clay City, Stanton, down toward the Slade area. Creeks and streams here likely to run out of their banks very shortly. Likewise, on the east side of Beattyville, eastern Lee County, southern parts of Wolfe County. That'll head into northern Breathitt County coming up shortly. Another slow-moving thunderstorm putting down a tremendous amount of rain here right on the Laurel and Pulaski County line. Every thunderstorm that goes up this afternoon into the evening will have the potential to be on the strong side with some high winds and also spit out a ton of lightning and heavy rain. Starting to see this band increasing around Harrodsburg, Lexington Metro. General run-of-the-mill rains as of right now, starting to pick up some rain into downtown Lexington. Flash flood watch is out for most of the state. Most of this area, by the way, should be placed under a flash flood watch coming up very, very shortly. So it looks like all but far southern Kentucky will be under that flash flood watch, and that's going to match up with my forecast of a general 1 to 4 inch rainfall for areas I've highlighted in the red, Jennifer, over the next 24 to 30 hours through Saturday night. That would be more than enough to create some at least local high water issues. The problem, Jennifer, that we're going to be seeing, these thunderstorms can spit out a ton of rain even ahead of what is left over of our tropical system. So the stage may be set for flash flooding, and we're going to continue to watch it.
Thank you, Chris. And as you know, more rain is not what people need who are still cleaning up from the latest storms. The National Weather Service says straight-line winds of 70 to 75 miles an hour caused damage in the Alton community of Anderson County yesterday. Strong winds ripped off part of the roof of the Abundant Life Christian Center. One man says flying debris nearly hit his grandson and him.
I did not know that anything was happening until it was right there. And all I could do was just duck. I'm a little shaken, but I'm very grateful that I'm doing okay. Grandson is doing the same.
We have no reports of anyone being hurt from the storms in Anderson County. In Scott County, investigators believe wet roads are to blame for a crash we told you about yesterday on Interstate 75 in Scott County. It happened in the northbound lanes near the Sadieville exit. Police say that minivan hydroplaned, then ran off the road and hit a tree. 6 people were hurt, including several children. At last check, 2 of the victims were in critical condition at UK Hospital. The storm also bent an awning at the Speedway on Main Street in Nicholasville, and in a nearby neighborhood, some large trees fell. Emergency managers say the storm also caused power outages in that area of Jessamine County. No injuries were reported. We'll show you how storms damaged the Jessamine County Youth Football Field coming up on WKYT News at 4:30. The suspect in the Charleston church massacre answered to the charges today. 9 counts of murder and possession of a firearm. This as the community tries to begin the healing process. Ryan Nobles has the latest.
This is the case of State versus Dylan Roof.
2 days after he murdered 9 people in cold blood, Dylan Roof faced a judge. The 21-year-old is charged with 9 counts of murder and possession of a firearm. Roof appeared via video, but showed no emotion.
What is your age?
21.
Some of the families of the victims were at the hearing. The daughter of Ethel Lance, a custodian at the church for nearly 30 years, gave an emotional statement.
You hurt me. You hurt a lot of people. But God forgive you. And I forgive you.
The judge set bond at $1 million on the gun charge. Dylan Roof admits to investigators he did it, wanting to start a race war, when he shot and killed 9 people at the Charleston AME Church Wednesday. That's according to 2 law enforcement officials. South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley weighed in on the death penalty possibility on NBC's Today Show.
This is a state that is hurt by the fact that 9 people innocently were killed. We absolutely will want him to have the death penalty.
The Charleston community and nation is still reeling from this unimaginable crime.
It is a hate crime. And as such, it is a crime perpetuated against the conscience of the country, the soul of the country.
Community members are now shifting their focus to healing and remembering the victims of this tragedy. A memorial at the church continues to grow behind crime scene tape, while a community prayer vigil is planned for tonight.
That was Ryan Noble's reporting. Dylan Roof has waived his right to counsel, so he'll either represent himself or hire his own lawyer. Roof was arrested earlier this year on separate charges of trespassing and drug possession. We're working on a number of other stories for WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick joins us from the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Good afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon, Jennifer. A convicted rapist apologized to his victim after being sentenced to decades in prison. Rico Coffey was sentenced to 33 years this morning. He kidnapped a stranger from the Speedway on Versailles Road in 2013. She was attacked before she was able to escape and run to a nearby home for help. You will hear from Coffey and his apology coming up on WKYT News at 5 o'clock. Community leaders and health officials discussing the location of a possible needle exchange clinic in Lexington. That program would be run by the Fayette County Health Department. It would offer testing, needle disposal, and would provide clean needles. The health department is presenting their plan to council next month. They're hoping for full approval so they can start the needle exchange program in the late summer. The program comes with its share of controversy.
Those on the opposite side of this are not paying any attention to the data. In fact, the drug abusers said, in effect, that's a lot of baloney. People who are going to use drugs are going to use drugs, and you giving out clean needles isn't going to make a nickel's worth of difference.
This afternoon, supporters of the needle exchange program are meeting at Thoroughbred Park for a rally. We'll have more on that coming up on WKYT at 6 o'clock. That's a quick look at some of the news in progress on this Friday. Jennifer, back to you.
Thank you, Sam. Now to some other stories making headlines across the nation at 4. A veteran Cincinnati police officer has died after being gunned down. The police chief says 48-year-old Sonny Kim was responding to a report of an erratic man with a gun in Madisonville when the man started shooting and Kim returned fire. The 21-year-old suspect was also shot and killed. The chief said Officer Kim was wearing body armor and had been with the police department for 27 years. Kim is the first Cincinnati police officer killed in the line of duty since 2000. It's been 2 weeks since 2 convicted killers were last seen in an upstate New York prison. Police are still looking for Richard Matt and David Sweat, who used power tools to break out of the Clinton Correctional Facility. U.S. Marshals have added the escapees to their 15 most wanted fugitives list. Meanwhile, the lockdown has been lifted at the prison. Recreational activities and use of phones has also resumed, and visitors are allowed to visit. A cruise ship has crashed into a wall in a river lock in upstate New York. At least 17 people are injured, and the lock has had to be drained. The U.S. Coast Guard says the 286-foot St. Laurent was headed from Montreal to Toronto last night when it hit a wall in the Eisenhower Lock in the St. Lawrence Seaway near the Canadian border. There were 274 French passengers and crew on board. None of the injuries is considered serious. Kentucky basketball ticket prices are on the rise. Find out how much more fans will have to pay for seats in the upper and lower sections of Rupp Arena. And Father's Day spending is expected to reach close to $13 billion this year. We'll show you some popular gift ideas for Dad next on WKYT News at 4.